Okay, we are heading towards the finish line, but we didn't want to get to the finish line without giving one last chance to provide another session. It is my pleasure at this time to welcome Dr. Rob Fleming, BCCAT's Executive Director and Co-Chair, who's going to provide a BC Transfer System and Council update. So over to you, Rob.
Thanks, Mike. I confess it's more of a reflection than an update, but here we go. I want to start by thanking everyone for your participation in BCCAT's JAM over the past 2 days and for your ongoing commitment to facilitating access and mobility for learners across the province and beyond. This year's JAM is particularly special for me as it is my last in the role of Executive Director and Co-Chair of BCCAT before retiring in December. The occasion has afforded me an opportunity to look forward and back with a sense of satisfaction and gratitude for the system we have inherited, expanded, and enhanced collectively, and for the culture that underpins it. As the content of the program for JAM 2025 has shown, BCCAT and the BC Transfer System are looking forward with a sense of purpose and commitment to meet current challenges, develop opportunities, and enhance collaboration and innovation. With the support of our many institutional partners, collegial system organizations and groups, and the Ministry of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills, the BC Transfer System will continue to thrive under the strong leadership of Mike Winsemann, Interim Executive Director, Angus Graeme, Council Co-Chair, the Council and its committees, and of course, the small but very talented BCCAT team. Over the past couple of weeks, in reflecting on my experiences as a member of the BCCAT team, I've been somewhat overwhelmed with the sheer volume of initiatives, policy, research, technology, pathway innovations, data partnerships, committees, and working groups, as well as stakeholder and partner engagements and relationships we've established and maintained. I know I can't speak to them all or even very many of the successful outcomes, especially in the 10 minutes Mike has given me. But to offer some perspectives, we have put together a couple of slides with the names of some of our partners and stakeholders, as well as several BCCAT initiatives and activities over the past 16 or so years. Those of you who have been around for a while can test your memories. So rather than speak to specific transformational activities over the years, I thought I'd speak more generally about the BC Transfer System with respect to what are, in my view, core attributes and values that guide BCCAT's approach and that have helped contribute to making the BC Transfer System a success story within BC and acknowledged nationally and internationally. As a former English department faculty member for 20 years, I can't resist a good quote, and I have a lengthy list of quotes that have been offered in praise of the BC Transfer System over the years. However, one that sticks with me most was offered by Patty Beatty-Gunther, a former colleague with the ministry and an avid researcher with a deep historical knowledge at BC Post-Secondary. In one of her papers, Patty noted a powerful redemptive quality of the BC Transfer System through the opportunity it provides for learners to find their pathways regardless of their point of entry and previous educational experiences, whether successful or not. Without the transfer system, too often the result would be no access, no participation. The belief that our educational system should provide expansive opportunities for everyone to begin, pause, restart, and shift their educational journeys, regardless of past circumstances, and in response to present and future changing circumstances, is foundational. This foundation has been endemic to the BC post-secondary system since developments in the 1960s and 70s in response to the calls in the McDonald Report to create a college system enabling transfer to university to facilitate access across the province. Before BCCAT came into being in 1989, provincial committees of faculty subject matter experts were formed to coordinate credit transfer between institutions while ensuring continuity of rigor and quality. From the outset, the cultural expectation has been to establish understanding, trust, and parity of esteem between institutions and programs to provide opportunity and equity for students. Still, despite the advantage of history and system design in BC, cultural expectations are not static and must be supported and managed to be maintained in the face of differing value systems, competitive pressures, and individual rather than systemic goals. As the BC post-secondary system has grown in size and complexity, more schools, more programs, more expansive institutional mandates, maintaining clarity of focus on credit transfer has required and continues to require professional coordination that is consistent yet adapted to changing contexts. Since inception in 1989, BCCAT's mandate has been focused and consistent, provide system leadership and direction through coordinating and enabling articulation, transfer, and admissions arrangements among autonomous post-secondary institutions. All BCCAT activities, articulation coordination, technology development, pathway development, research, are focused on this mandate, providing the sector with continuity and accountability through changing environmental contexts. The importance of continuity was reinforced for me recently when I was asked to meet with presidents of universities and colleges, as well as some ministry representatives in another province. Their discussion was focused on how to invigorate transfer in their province, which was languishing as institutions became more siloed in their approach to managing access and mobility for their students. When the "what do we do" question was tossed my way, I discussed, as I always do, the importance of understanding and respecting institutional and system contexts, the necessity of research on what is actually happening in terms of student preference, performance, and mobility, and building dialogue around a shared interest in meeting student needs, and establishing trust. Heads nodded somewhat, as is usually the case when I mention trust, but before I could go on to talk about how trust is developed and maintained through evidence, understanding, and research, I was interrupted. One of the long-serving presidents, who had also been a president and senior administrator in BC for many years, stated emphatically, "I agree with you, but it's the continuity and leadership that BCCAT and the BC transfer system maintain collectively that our system lacks. So we struggle to maintain relationships and a focus on transfer and mobility." I went away from this discussion reflecting on the stewardship role of the BCCAT team, the council, and countless members of the BC transfer system in their varied roles and capacities. Ongoing understanding of the history and cultural expectations of the BC transfer system is vital to maintaining its continuity as a highly integrated and collaborative system of autonomous institutions that work together to both maintain and innovate educational pathways for learners. In terms of facilitating a culture that supports transfer and mobility in the BC post-secondary ecosystem, several values and attributes are foundational to BCCAT. Leadership through dialogue, persuasion, and consensus, not regulation. Respect for the autonomy of institutions and educators. System perspective, neutrality, and transparency in operations and initiatives. Credibility and trust earned through consistent and relevant experience and outcomes. Responsive, representative, and participatory governance. Research-informed and evidence-based dialogue and decision-making. Broad-based engagement with post-secondary institutional staff at all levels and roles. Accountability to system stakeholders in keeping with their roles and needs. Consultation, consultation, consultation. And most importantly, a couple of core principles. Strong relationships between subject matter experts are the foundation of articulation. To borrow a phrase from a colleague, this is where and how the magic happens. And finally, learners, regardless of their pathway, direct entry or transfer, should always be treated equitably. Although the attributes and values that guide BCCAT may seem straightforward, to maintain them requires a lot of patience and tenacity, and ongoing advocacy and support across the system. I know I'm speaking to the converted in terms of those attending JAM today and your commitment to facilitating system-wide opportunities for access, transfer, and mobility of students in BC. And I know you will continue your excellent work, continue to guide BCCAT in its work, and continue to ensure support and accountability for the success of the transfer system and the values that underpin it. To echo the theme for JAM this year, hold fast. In closing, I want to thank you for the faith and support you've extended to me, but more importantly, the entire BCCAT team over the past 16 years and into the future. The BC transfer system has come a long way in developing opportunities for learners through flexible pathway development, pivotal research, and technology innovation, expanding access, mobility, and efficiency. In response to new challenges and opportunities, the transfer system will continue to develop and innovate in support of learners, as it always has, because of the dedication of so many and the relationships we have built through a shared commitment to equity, transparency, and trust in maintaining the highest levels of rigor and quality across a diverse and complex system. The BC transfer system is a success story because of all of you. Finally, to BCCAT staff, it's difficult to express the depth of my gratitude for all that you do so well and with so much productivity and professionalism. BCCAT is truly a team, a small, cohesive organization where all voices are given space. It's a special environment. In the words of a recently retired registrar and former BCCAT committee member, you are truly world-class. Thank you. Mike, quite literally, I'm tossing it over to you.
Thanks so much, Rob. And please make sure you put into the chat, but thank you to Rob for all of the work that he has done on behalf of BCCAT over the years. We are going to roll right into closing remarks, and I've asked Rob to stick around just for a little bit because we have a few final pieces of housekeeping. And then we've got something planned for you, Rob. So first things first, I'm going to take care of some quick logistics as we bring JAM 2025 to a close. The most important thing I want to announce are escape room winners. So we have 3 winners that were chosen through a randomly used web-based generator, a spinning wheel. So I'd like to congratulate Lola Osinoo from TRU, Krista Gerlich Fitzgerald from KPU, and Lisa Randall from Langara College. Congratulations. A BCCAT prize pack is on the way to you for managing to successfully escape the room. We also have trivia winners. For these 3 winners, I'd like to congratulate Ernest Kwok from TRU, Jean Malteson from Vancouver Island University, and Sarah Romanko from Athabasca University. You had the 3 highest scores on the quiz. There were multiple ties, but you guys were the first ones to submit, so you guys will also be receiving a BCCAT prize package. Now, at this time, I would like to turn the virtual microphone over to, once again, to BCCAT's Council Co-Chair, Angus Graeme, who's going to offer a few reflections on behalf of Council.
Well, thanks so much, Mike. And thank you, Rob, for that lovely summary and reflections on your wonderful career with BCCAT. When Mike introduced me yesterday, he mentioned some of my roles at Selkirk College, but my very first role was a faculty member in the early 90s at Selkirk. And I was on the Forestry Articulation Committee from about 1992 to about 2003 or so. And what I got to witness as a young faculty member was the emergence of this new, relatively new at the time, organization known as the BC Council of Admissions and Transfer. And from day one, that organization has lived up to that vision that Rob described: equity, transparency, trust, and autonomy in terms of the building of those relationships, and how important it is to not do it through policy, but through partnership and friendship. And what I've witnessed since then, and coming into other roles as a member from a member institution, that when Rob joined the organization 16 years ago, he just took it to the next level. And all organizations mature in that way, but Rob, you've done an amazing job over your 16-year career to move the institution of the BC Council of Admissions and Transfer into really what is so critical to the BC system and the BC brand and the BC way of doing post-secondary mobility for students, affordability, transfer, and learning journeys. And you've assembled an amazing team. You've always supported the councils as they come and go. Membership comes and goes. And when Mike introduced me as like a 3-year grizzled veteran, I don't know what that makes you, but I think what it makes you is a wise elder in the system, and somebody who I hope we can continue to call upon from time to time. Of course, after you get back from your trip, but call upon from time to time to help us untangle difficult decisions when they come along. But we will miss you. It's to keep with the nautical theme. Having you at the helm, you were a skilled skipper, a thoughtful navigator, and a very skilled and talented mariner. And you kept BCCAT, with the tide and not bucking the tide. You're able to really steer the organization along some choppy seas, but also some very calm and productive seas at times as well. So many thanks. I hope to see you in a couple of weeks, but I just want to thank you on behalf of Council and the BC Council, as well as all of the folks tuning in today who are so important to our work together as well. And just a thank you to Mike as well for stepping forward, taking on the interim role. Yes, the tiller, I think, is what mariners call it, or the rudder or something, is now firmly in your hands, and we're all going to gather around you and make sure that you're successful as well. And just another really successful jam. All of the presenters, questions from the participants, and the contributions that everybody made leading up to and during this wonderful 2 days has been just amazing. I've got pages of notes, so I'm just excited to reread them and re-listen to some of the sessions as well. So I'll hand it back to you, Mike. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. And lest we forget, enjoy a break next week to remember past conflicts as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angus.
Thank you, Angus. And so I'll offer a few final words before we set sail off into the horizon to keep it with the nautical theme. JAM represents a total team effort on behalf of BCCAT staff, and the work for this event begins in earnest about 6 months before JAM, and then it builds up into a frenzy right by the time JAM finally rolls around. And I want to just personally thank all the staff for their hard work, especially given the fact that we are working with a new technology platform, and we made a late in the day pivot to moving to a completely online format from a hybrid format. I've mentioned it several times already, I'm a baseball fan. I threw a lot of curveballs at the staff this year, but I'm proud to say that we stuck together, and this has been yet another rewarding year for all of us. I would also like to thank the people behind the curtain, that is Sheldon Barr and Dreamfield Audio Visual, for once again providing all the tech wizardry on the back end. It makes life a lot easier working with professionals who take their work seriously and always bring their A game. And so big thank you to Sheldon and Dreamfield as well. Now, this jam in particular, it's had a bit of a bittersweet vibe for us because we know that our fearless captain, who has steered the good ship BCCAT for the past 16 years, will be finally granted his shore leave and be saying goodbye to us. But before we grant you your freedom, we do have a few final items to check off. I'd like to offer a few reflections of my own. So Rob has been with BCCAT for 16 years, and I've had the pleasure of working with Rob the entirety of that time. And I can say without exaggeration that Rob is the best person that I've ever worked with. He is a kind and thoughtful and empathetic leader. He's not afraid to elevate his staff and work collegially. He's a trusted expert in all that he does, and he is truly a joy to work with. I personally appreciate how much you've supported me in my work and the work that I do. And I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret that I've never told anyone, but I'm going to tell you guys now. Now, our work can be quite varied. And there are many times where we are encountered with situations where we are navigating in uncharted waters. And there are times where I have not always known, well, what is the best course of action to take? Where should we go? And I will tell you that I have a little bit of a trick that I do whenever I'm encountering a new situation where I'm not sure what to do or what to say. And I ask myself one question, and that question is, what would Rob do in this situation? That is 100% true. I always ask myself, what would Rob do? And without fail, I always, as I work my way through the problem, come up with the right answer because I know that Rob always does the right thing. And that has been one true trademark of your work over the past 16 years. So what would Rob do? I thought about getting t-shirts made for that, but the idea comes late. The ideas always flow in the last 2 days before jam. So it didn't get a t-shirt made, but that is a true story. And I'm proud to have been your colleague for 16 years. I'm even more proud to call you my friend. And so I will wish you bon voyage, safe travels when we get to your final date, but you're still stuck with us for about 6 more weeks, I think, 5 more weeks. So you'll have to put up with us as well. However, this is not just about me. Our staff are also feeling a bit remiss that we're going to be saying goodbye to you. And so they wanted to commemorate you as well. And so we have put together a bit of a closing video that is dedicated to you. And we are going to be playing that now. So we have 2 closing videos. We have a video for Rob, and we have a closing video for Jam, just to thank everyone who has attended over the last 2 days. So we're going to play that out now. I just want to thank everybody for being a part of the Joint Annual Meeting 2025. And we look forward to seeing you all again next year at Jam 2026.
Thank you, Mike.